This will be for the con exercise unit circle. So just a few things to remember. When you draw an angle on the unit circle, you start at the positive x-axis and you head in the counterclockwise direction. So when you draw an angle inside the unit circle, you want to remember that the radius of the unit circle is 1, and there's going to be a point that lands on the circle. Okay, and the angle made with the positive x-axis and the radius is going to be the angle theta. And we can construct a right triangle right here. Okay, and if you go across from your angle theta, that side is your opposite. And the radius here is your hypotenuse. And this remaining side here is your adjacent. Okay, so you want to remember the cosine of theta. Cosine of an angle theta is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, but we already said the hypotenuse is 1. So the cosine of theta is just going to be the adjacent side. Okay, and as you can see from the adjacent side right here, this length of this side length here is going to be the x-coordinate of this point. So the x-coordinate of this point is the adjacent side, which is the cosine of theta. All right, and then we can do the same thing with the sine of theta. And if you recall from basic trig, if we have the sine of theta, that's going to be opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, but again, we said the hypotenuse is just 1. So opposite over 1, the sine of theta is just going to be the opposite side. And if you look at the opposite side, the length of this opposite side is going to match the y-coordinate of the point. So the y-coordinate is going to be the sine of theta. Okay, so cosine of theta is x, sine of theta is y of the point that's on the circle. Okay, they're asking, what is the value of the y-coordinate of point A? Choose one answer. All right, so let's look at point A right here. And we see the angle to get to point A. This angle measured from the positive x-axis, and we go counterclockwise around this way. That angle is 270 degrees. All right, so the coordinates of this point A, remember the cosine is the x, so that's going to be cosine of 270 for the x-coordinate, and the sine of 270 for the y-coordinate. Okay, so that's for the point A. That's the xy coordinate, x and y. All right, so they're asking, what is the value of the y-coordinate? Well, that's just going to be the sine of 270. Points A, B, and C are plotted on the unit circle. Which of the coordinates is equal to the sine of 200 degrees? Okay, let's see. Sine of 200 degrees. Okay, remember the angle starts at the positive x-axis. And we're looking at sine of 200 degrees. Okay, so obviously these are right angles. Okay, so starting here, this is going to be 90 and 180. And this here is 270 if I kept going, so 200 would be about right here. Okay, so that's 200 degrees. And the B is the coordinates for the point B. Right here, remember, the cosine is the x. So cosine of 200 degrees is the x. And the sine of 200 degrees is the y for point B. So we're looking at sine of 200. This is x. This is y coordinate of point B. So y coordinate of point B. Okay, so the sine of 200 is the y coordinate of point B. Answer D. For each point on the circle, select the angle that corresponds to it. Click each dot on the image to select an answer. Okay, let's see. All right, so let's see, point A. Okay, so we're just measuring it, approximating it in degrees. All right, so you got to remember the x-axis, positive x-axis is where it starts. This angle here, it's definitely going to be less than 90 because we only went from here to here. So that is 20. Okay. Okay, it took 20. Okay, good. And now if we continue, okay, we're looking at point B right here. We're starting at the positive x-axis, going around. That's 90. That's 180, and a little more than 180, but less than 270. If we hit this, it would be 270. So I'm guessing about 240 or 250. Click on answer B. There's 250. All right, and finally, let's look at C. Okay, so let's see. Starting at the x-axis, that's 90, 180, 270, and then a little bit more. This angle right here, this is 270, this is 360. I'm guessing about 300, 320, somewhere around there. Click on it, 340. Okay, it can't be 250 because we went past 270, so it has to be 340. Okay, last one. What is the value of the y-coordinate of point A? Okay, so here's point A. All right, but we can't just use 15 because remember we have to start here at the positive x-axis. So if we go around counterclockwise, that's 90. And right here, it's almost 180. Okay, this right here, if we made it to this line here, it would have been 180. But this angle here is 15. So this angle theta is going to be 180 minus 15. Okay, so if you see, we almost made it to 180, but this angle is 15 degrees. So that's going to be a 165. Okay, the angle is 165, and we're looking for the y-coordinate. Okay, so remember cosine comma sine. So this point is going to be cosine of 165, comma, sine of 165. Okay, the first one is the x, and the second one is the y. So they asked us for the y, it's going to be sine of 165. Sine of 165, that is answer C.